Hi there guys, and welcome to another Red Gaming Tech gaming news video with myself, Amata, here on the 8th of March, and I have an update for you on the whole SimCity fiasco. As anyone who's been paying attention to the gaming news, or in fact a SimCity player themselves, will know that the launch of this game is nothing short of a disaster area, as the server issues and so on that have been plaguing people have now entered the 4th day. And basically EA have a sea of hatred flowing rapidly towards their doors right this very moment, as PC game servers continue to refuse numerous people access to the game. And some are even reporting that once they're actually into the game and making progress on their cities, their work is deleted due to a server outage. And I actually did see evidence of this myself on someone else's video of the press beta. This was obviously before the game was even out. Someone got disconnected and basically had a little bit of what they'd done basically ignored, and like they'd never done it. And then they had to repeat the process. So this has been something that's evident in the game even before the game was actually released and all these problems started. On Thursday, which was the 3rd day since the game came out and the servers basically caught fire as everyone tried to go onto the game, EA actually made things a lot worse by saying they would not accept refunds due to the server problems, which is not exactly surprising coming from EA, but that doesn't make it any less disgraceful. There's quite a few other developments as well, as Amazon has actually pulled SimCity from sale, noting the server issues. So while that's annoying, it's actually kind of a good thing, because it basically means that at least that one avenue for more people buying the game, more people trying to get onto the servers, and basically giving them even more load that they can't handle. That's obviously a good thing, but it's just interesting that Amazon has had to resort to that, because they obviously don't want to be inundated with refunds or complaints and people messaging them saying, hey, this game doesn't work, blah blah blah, you know, I want my money back. You know, I don't really blame them, to be honest with you. And there's also a petition going around at the moment to basically get the game's online DRM removed, and that's reached 30,000 signatures, and I'll put a link to the description, for that particular petition if you wish to add your name to that list. And I would not be surprised if that number continues to go up, because always on DRM is never been exactly the flavour of the month with gamers, and I don't think this has improved its name any at all. EA has insisted that it's not going to ban people for seeking refunds, but there was actually a recent forum post on their help centre suggesting that they were going to do that if you're particularly persistent over seeking a refund. And again, I will put a link to that in the description so you can check that out for yourself. And there's slightly better news for those of us in the EU, as the European launch is underway and servers appear stable, but people are still suffering from the same problems that are happening in North America. They're just not quite as bad or as widespread as they are in North America. So at least people in the EU are having less problems, but that doesn't mean they're not having the same problems, because they most definitely are. And there has actually been an official apology release from the game's developer, Maxis, and I'm going to quote directly from them now. Thousands of players across the world are playing and having a good experience. In fact, more than 700,000 cities have been built by our players in just 24 hours. But many are experiencing server instability. Consequently, the rollout in North America has been challenging. It's also now evident that players across Europe and Asia are experiencing the same frustration. Our priority now is to quickly and dramatically increase the number of stability of our servers, and with that, the number of players who can simultaneously access the game. We added servers today, and there will be more added over the weekend. We're working as hard as possible to make sure everyone gets to experience the amazing game that we built in SimCity. So there you have it. The always-on DRM debacle continues for SimCity. And to be honest, I really hope that they learn their lesson from this, and that they learn that always on DRM is not the way to go with this. I mean, seriously, what did they expect? They had to know that something like this was going to happen. Maybe they didn't think it would be quite this bad, because they probably thought there'd be some server instability on the day of launch, but obviously they didn't predict this, otherwise they would have prepared for it. And to be honest with you, what I hope at least happens is that they make it so it's not quite an always on DRM, but rather a system where each time you start up the game you have to log into their servers, connect, and then once you've done that you can play in like an offline mode or something like that, where you don't have to be connected to the internet, because always on DRM there's just no place for it at the moment, or ever really, because especially with the state of the internet at the moment. I mean, in some countries, or even some areas of some otherwise excellent countries for internet, the internet just isn't that stable. I mean, I'm sure we've all experienced that frustration at some point ourselves, either with a single player game with always on DRM, or a multiplayer game where, you know, you're happily gaming away, doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you find yourself disconnected and sent back to the menu screen just because your internet had the audacity to fall over just for a second. And this happens quite a lot, because in some countries and some parts, like I just said earlier, internet is not that stable. Some countries have it better, of course, some areas of some countries have it better, but that doesn't mean that a lot of people still have these problems, and even the best internet in the world goes down every now and again. So to be honest, always on DRM is just, I'm not going to go into a massive rant about always on DRM because I'll be here all day, but personally what I at least hope for is that you just sign in once and then you can play in offline mode if you don't want to have the multiplayer features of the game enabled, because there are quite a few features of the game that are tied into this whole working together to build cities thing and regions and so on, so that's fine. I think that would work quite nicely and would still be a barrier against piracy, which is obviously what the always on DRM is there for. So yes, hopefully they're going to get this sorted out soon, because I'm sure many people are pretty much foaming at the teeth with rage, and I don't really blame them. If I had paid a good amount of money for this game, which most people have probably been looking forward to, especially if you're a SimCity fan for quite some time, and you find yourself unable to access it because of their particular form of DRM, I would not be happy, and I don't really blame people for seeking a refund. Anyway, that's me done for this video. The links to the petition and the forum posts that I mentioned in this video will be in the description. So if you would like to take a look at those and perhaps even add your name to the petition, then please go look there and do so, because I think if enough people express their rage in the right way, then we might see a positive outcome. Anyway, that's me done for this video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again next time.